Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Angry Hacks podcast during this midweek. This is Nunzi coming at you after 9 o'clock. We got a late podcast tonight. And my hacks are here with me. Michael Hall, what's going on, brother?
What is up?
Not too much, not too much. Stan the man, what's up?
Not much, man. Not much. Just, shocked with this, my Boston Celtics making this big trade yesterday.
Well, why don't you lead us off with that, my man? We got a plethora of topics to talk to you about, and my boy, Stan the man, is going to lead us off. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I mean, this is, they say it's stuff can blindside you on some idle Tuesday, and that's what yesterday was, an idle Tuesday when the Boston Celtics acquired Kyrie Irving from their Eastern Conference Finals foe from last year for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Ante Zizic, and the Nets 2018 unprotected first-round pick. That's right, the unprotected 2018 Nets pick. One of the biggest assets that's been out there the last few years, the biggest trade assets available, and Danny Ainge finally pulled the trigger on a trade that, a lot of people were waiting for. And he waited for a top 10 to 15 player in the NBA, and he got him. Now, my feelings on this, it's a bittersweet day for me. This is a very bittersweet day.
Now, Stan, you're a Celtics fan?
Yeah, Stop laying into me. Stop laying into me. like
okay, go ahead.
Die hard Celtics fan. You know this. And for those of you that don't, you know now. Now, I feel awful about this trade in a way. I just feel sad. I feel awful about losing two guys that busted their asses for me the last few years. Two guys that gave it everything, and especially for Isaiah. He went through so much in Boston, especially this year with losing his sister, and he was loved. I'm telling you, he was loved by the Celtics fans. He was like that little spark plug, that little guy that every kid loved because he wasn't much bigger than them. He's 5'0". He's 5'9". There's kids that are like 10 years old that are pushing that height. There's kids in the Little League World Series that are bigger. This guy resonates with so many people. He's been an all-star in Boston because we believed in him. We gave him the shot, and he believed in the Celtics. And then they trade him. And that's just a big kick in the stomach. That's a big kick in the Jimmy. It's just sad. My heart is with Isaiah. My heart is with him. But I know my mind and should be with Kyrie. I understand why we made this trade. We are better with Kyrie. I'm shocked that it happened between the two teams that face each other in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. That never happens. Teams don't make trades like this with teams they're competing against in the same conference. It never happens. In the 80s once, I can't remember in recent time this ever happening. I was ready to tell you guys we should do a podcast about Kyrie Irving coming to the New York Knicks or possibly, because me being a Celtics fan, hating the Knicks forever, it's better when the Knicks are good. And I was like, you know what? Kyrie would make sense for them. I think they'd have to give up everything, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like, let's do a podcast about offer everything but Kristaps Porzingis for Kyrie. And then this happens. I did not see this one coming. I just didn't. And, what do you guys think about this deal? Off the top of your head, I have more to say about it, but what do you guys have to say?
Well,
go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest NBA guy, but first of all, Stan, I wanted to ask you because I don't know what's the deal with the unprotected pick. Is that what it's called?
It's an unprotected pick. So the big trade a few years back where the Celtics traded Pierce and KG and Jason Terry to the Brooklyn Nets for Gerald Wallace, bag of peanuts, and 3 first-round picks and the rights to swap. This is one of those picks. So it's the Brooklyn Nets pick. So if the Brooklyn Nets, have the worst record in the NBA this year like they did last year, they would have the most ping pong balls in the lottery.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Do they get the bag of peanuts?
No bag of peanuts. Now,
the bag wasn't open yet.
it's funny though. Like, I that's the biggest hiccup for me, in a way. Like, I love Isaiah. My heart is with Isaiah and Jay Crowder. They really busted their asses for me. Zizic, we drafted him last year. All pick. He was a draft and stash. He played overseas, and he was gonna help us this year up front. Now we guess he's gonna help in Cleveland. But this first round pick, it was a huge asset. I'm very surprised that they didn't put a protection on the pick.
Right.
I'm just surprised, like, even whether if it's the first overall pick or if it's 1, 2, 3, I'm just shocked that they didn't put some sort of protection on it. But maybe the Celtics think that the Nets are going to be better this year. Maybe they think they're going to be better because they added D'Angelo Russell and Alan Crabb and DeMar Carroll. Who knows? I mean,
well, Stan, tell me this now.
Yeah.
Now, forget about the we move past the emotional side of it, and you move past the GM side of it. Talk to me about what this means on the floor for Boston and Cleveland.
Well, all right. Well, I'll start with the Celtics just because those are my boys, right? So this is the crazy thing. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We have 4 guys returning from that team. 4. Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier.
Wow.
Everybody else on this team is a new roster. Brad Stevens has a brand new roster. Now, some of the guys coming in are great, like Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. Then we have rookie Jason Tatum. And then we bring in a bunch of other guys. We traded Avery Bradley for Marcus Morris. We signed Aaron Baines, playing in China the last few years, and now he's back with us. We have Semi Ojeleye, second round pick this year. And then we have a couple of guys from overseas, Daniel Tice, like some German, and Gershon Yabusele, who they call it the French Draymond Green. I would love that, but that's just a little nickname I guess they have for. But that's crazy. Only 4 guys returning.
Yeah, in one summer, yeah.
Yeah, but the case I look like this. The case for Kyrie over Isaiah, like Isaiah was a defensive liability with the Celtics. So is Kyrie. But because of Isaiah's height, it was tougher to hide him on defense. When you're 5'9", it is hard to hide you on defense. At least Kyrie being 6'3", even if he's like not a great defender, at least he's a little longer and can maybe disrupt the passing lanes a little bit more.
Sure.
On defense. But, I mean, I have to admit that even though last year I struggled with Isaiah to score, it's so hard being a go-to scorer when you're a generous 5'9". I don't think he's 5'9". I think he's shorter than that. Because when you're a go-to scorer that is 5'9" and you're playing a good defense, they're going to shut you down. And that's why I thought getting a second ball scorer type creator guy was so important for the Celtics this year, and we did that by signing Hayward. And now I guess we just have 2 of them because now we have Kyrie and Hayward. I mean, adding Kyrie should give you even more end-of-game timeout plays for Brad Stevens because this guy, if you watch him in the playoffs this year, this guy makes shots that no one else can make.
Yeah, he can finish, man.
Right, and then like by the numbers, their numbers are very similar. Isaiah had one of the best years for a point guard in the history of the NBA last year. They're both all-stars. I mean, Isaiah had more points per game than Kyrie, but that's also because Kyrie's playing with the best player in the world, and LeBron. It's also the pros for Kyrie is he's 25. Isaiah's 28. And Isaiah is a free agent at the end of this year, and he's going to command a max deal. And it's hard. It's hard to give a guy that's 5'9" a max deal that at the end of the max deal is going to be 33, 34. That's tough. Yeah. So the Celtics were worried about giving him the max deal, and I think they're more comfortable giving Kyrie the max deal, and I understand it. This trade is a win for both teams Kyrie gives the Celtics one of the best 10 to 15 players in the NBA. He's been in the finals the last 3 years. I think it will translate well in Stevens' offense, being mostly on the ball, which he didn't get to do as much with LeBron being the real point guard of the Cavs. Let's be honest. But the other side, like you asked me about the Cavs, Isaiah should still score with the Cavs. He's going to score just like he did with the Celtics. He's going to be fine there. The Cavs made this trade for now and for the future. So he's going to help. He's a great off-ball player. The ball for the Celtics last year. Brad Stevens had Avery Bradley, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, and Isaiah bringing the ball up at different times. And if you watched it, it just it didn't matter. No guy cared about the other guy taking it up or who was going to do it. They were a team-oriented players. And that's what's tough about losing guys like this. And I worry about Kyrie being a potential ball stopper similar to Carmelo. I do worry about that. It's in the back of my mind. I don't think it will be that bad, but I just have to say it's in there. Now, Isaiah's going to be great playing with LeBron. I really believe that. And Jay Crowder gives them a lot of depth. Jay Crowder gives them something they didn't have last year or the year before. But now Jay Crowder doesn't have to guard LeBron anymore, and LeBron doesn't have Crowder guarding him. It kind of helps him out a lot.
Yeah, just in practice.
And Zizic, he could be a nice little throw-in. He really didn't play well the first few games of the Summer League, but he turned it on late in the Summer League games, and he'll give them some minutes off the bench and then some. But the 2018 Nets pick that's where it's at. That's where it's at for the Cavs. It could be number 1 overall.
Yeah.
But I guess now I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan now, right?
Yeah.
I hope that falls out of the top 5.
Well, Rye,
there was no protection. Yeah, Rye.
It's funny you bring up that Nets pick because I feel that we're not gonna really know who wins that trade. I feel until that pick becomes available, like where that pick falls. And if it's a number 1 overall pick, that could be huge for the Cavs. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you know what? If they get the number 1 overall pick again, that's just ridiculous. That would be like their 5th one in 15 years.
Yeah.
Because they have LeBron, number 1. Kyrie was a number 1. Andrew Wiggins was number 1, which they traded for Kevin Love. And so was Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, right. I couldn't think of that last guy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, what a good
that one turned out great.
Pick. That's worse than Kwame Brown. That's worse than any
is
of
he
them.
Is he still in the league, this Anthony Bennett?
He played a few years when he went to Minnesota, and then he was running around the D League. So, which is now the G League. It's the Gatorade League. But
is it really?
No. Yeah, he's not. He didn't get many minutes last year. He played a few games, but nothing crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, this could make this trade. But listen, even if it is like Porter coming out, if it's the number 1 pick and they get Porter or whoever else is there, I forget some of the guys that are coming out this year. It's a good draft class supposedly.
Yes, it is. That's what I heard too.
You're still getting Kyrie. As much as I loved Isaiah, if I'm taking my emotions hat off, I know Kyrie is a lot better than Isaiah.
Yes, right. Now, the way I think of it here is in that trade, Kyrie's the best player in that trade.
Yes.
So you're getting the best player in that trade. But if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm kind of happy. And here's why.
Yeah.
He wanted to be traded. So
I know.
We don't know how that chemistry would have gone on throughout the whole season. It could have been an absolute disaster. So if I'm a Cavs fan and I'm sitting here yesterday morning or this morning, whatever, and I see that trade go through, I'm excited. I'm excited because of what they got in return too. It's not like they got a few schlubs.
Oh, this was unbelievable return. This is a great return. Right. Never never when guys trade a superstar like Kyrie Irving do they get back a superstar. Now, I mean, okay, I'm sorry. They traded the superstar in Kyrie, and they're getting an all-star in Isaiah. He's not a superstar. I think in Boston we felt like he was a superstar, but he's not a superstar. He's great, but this is a great return. And the one thing that, like, I guess they're skeptical about is he is coming off that injury, that hip injury. Now, apparently he's supposed to be okay. But I look at, if I'm the Cavs, who have gone through so much stuff in recent years, but they got their championship. LeBron gave them their championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to think about if you could possibly, and this sounds crazy, but if you already made this deal, if you could possibly trade LeBron to the Lakers, I think you have to think about it. Now, with this team, they can compete. That's why I don't think it will happen, because with Isaiah, Kevin Love, LeBron, Jay Crowder, and the rest of the guys, you're still going to be able to compete this year. I was like, oh, I love this team. I'll stay in Cleveland instead of going to LA like everyone thinks. But I think you have to see if you can get from the Lakers. I don't like Brandon Ingram, but he was the second overall pick a few years ago. Maybe you asked for him and you asked for another future pick or something like that. And then if you have a bidding war for LeBron James, you might be able to get a really good haul for him. And then you still have an Isaiah Thomas and a Kevin Love on your team that if you wanted to trade them, you could have the quickest turnaround in a franchise ever and rebuild so quickly, because you could get some really good pieces back for all those guys. If I was them, but I would think about it.
Right.
So,
yeah, good. I mean, good stuff, man. Good stuff. It really is good stuff. I don't know if you want to say anything else about it, but I think you hit a lot of points right on the head, dude.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, they do play each other game 1 of the season on October.
Oh, that's great. I know. I saw that.
And a couple other notes. I know people have heard this, but in 2011, Kyrie was the number 1 overall pick in the draft, and Isaiah Thomas was the last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Wow, that's neat. I didn't know that.
And that's a cool little tidbit. And Isaiah, I mean, it's an unbelievable story. I hope this guy gets his money. I hope he gets paid at the end of this year because he's a free agent. And then the other thing, I hope Kyrie. I guess I'm gonna hope that he re-signs with us. I mean, I've hated him for the last 7 years of his life. Starting with Duke and then 6 years in Cleveland. But I guess in game 1, if he scores 40 points, I might forget quick.
You'll love him.
That's true. That's true, my man. I mean, I'm with you though, but there's a lot of different variables in this trade, and it's going to be interesting going forward. Even if you're not a basketball fan, just very interesting going forward watching this season.
Well, yeah. This trade, this could be one of the biggest NBA trades ever. I mean, it doesn't happen like this very often.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Wow. Well, I mean, like I said, we'll see what goes down this year. And like you said, they play game 1 of the season, which is going to be that's going to be a high intensity, very highly watched game.
Mark your calendar,
guys. I got a chip on my shoulder. It's a chocolate chip on my shoulder, and it's in the shape of the NFL preseason. Do you want to hear about my chip?
Go ahead.
And I mean, this has gone on for me for a while now, but I mean, it's just really coming to fruition this year, because of watching my team the other day. And the Giants played the Browns the other day, and there were 2 key injuries in that game from 2 key starters. It's just, I cannot stand preseason. I hate it. I will go out and say I hate the preseason. I mean, there's just too many injuries, too many key injuries. And I understand guys have to play, guys have to get game ready. They got to play, game-like situations. They have to. I understand that. But it's getting to the point where you watch a big guy go out and potentially long-term, and it hurts because you get so pumped up, so excited for football season. for me and for a lot of people, football season gets me the most excited before the season. I think I get more like jacked up and amped up because of, the weekly games and how there's only 16 games in a season. It just gets me so jacked up. And when you see a guy, a key player, your best player, get hit the way he got hit, and we'll get to that hit in a second, and see him go down like that, it's horrifying, guys. It really is. What do you think about that? It's horrifying.
Well, I know well, with Jordy Nelson a couple of years ago.
Right, you do.
It sucks, man. The preseason to me, I go both ways sometimes. Because you can see really, really bad injuries in some of these high intensity practices just as well.
Right.
A la, Shepard a few weeks ago, and in guys Terry, I was one Teddy Bridgewater. That was a practice. It wasn't a game.
Yeah.
But I know where you're coming from. You see these absolutely meaningless games. The only purpose of these games are, your starters play 6 plays, and then it's just go send the fourth stringers out and see who can win a job. That's the only purpose of the games. When you see an Odell Beckham, a Jordy Nelson, any one of these big stars get hurt, it infuriates you. It really does.
It does. And I guess like a short-term solution, they have to do something. It's 4 games is way too many. It's way too many. Do something, make it 2 games. I don't know. Make it 2 games or something. If you're gonna change it, that kind of helps, I guess.
Yeah, there's a problem with that is, okay, so they'll knock it down to 2 preseason games, but the NFL makes money on even these preseason games.
It's true.
They're making money. So they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to make the regular season 18 games. Now what does the Players Association do with that? They're not going to like that.
Right.
So
you're right.
They'll probably they'll say, okay, we'll just stick to the 4. And I think just starters, you're going to see them play less and less and less until, I honestly think in a few years, every single starter is going to get 0 reps in these preseason games just to stay healthy.
To be honest with you, dude, I'm fine with that. At this point, I'm fine with it. Don't play your starters. Play the guys that are trying to make the team.
Right, and then it gets frustrating because now you're having 4 freaking preseason games. That's way too many. You can play 2 games and decide who's getting cut. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't need 4 full football games to trim your roster from 90 to 53. There's no way.
No, and you know what, Mike? And if they say, okay, starters won't play, then where's the viewership coming from? Nobody's going to come watch 3rd and 4th stringers.
Right. So then maybe, NFL stops making money on it, and then maybe you see a change.
Right. Well, it's just – go ahead, Ray.
Well, I have a crazy outside the box idea for them to still make money.
Let me hear it.
Cut down on the games.
I'm excited.
I'd only cut down on 1 preseason game, but if you can make 4 to 3, that's a little bit better. It's not. I would love 2 preseason games. That's what I would love if it was just 2. But like Mike said, for these games now, I know they make money off of fans going to the games and concessions, but they make a lot of their money with the TV stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So instead of playing all these games on one day, play for the preseason. I'm saying regular season is Sunday football, right? But for the preseason, play a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Play 1 game or 2 games each day and put them on national television so that you can make your money.
Yeah,
and then just cut down from 4 to 3, or to hopefully, I would love 2, and to 2. And then if your starters only played in 1 game, or they're not going to play a full game anyway, but if they played a little bit or they're there, you try to bring something else to the broadcast of why people should watch. I think they could make money here and still cut down on the games. I don't know. What do you think?
That could work. Honestly, I wish there was 0 preseason games.
Oh, preseason sucks. It sucks big rhinoceros dick. Let's be straight. Because not only do we have to worry about injury, but the worst part of preseason is the stupid fan that watches preseason. It's like, oh, they look terrible. Oh, they look terrible.
I know. Oh my God. Oh, the first team offense didn't get a first down. They had like 7 plays. Like, who cares?
Right. Oh, this guy looks great. This guy's like the best thing since sliced bread. It's freaking preseason. It doesn't mean shit.
You think Bill Belichick cares about the Patriots' record in preseason?
No. In fact,
he's manipulating situations to log information in his little brain for the real deal, right? So he'll put guys he'll put guys out of position on purpose. He may tell his guys to go fuck up and get in a 3rd and 15 on purpose just to see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the early 90s when the New York Mets in spring training baseball would win like every freaking spring training game?
Yes.
Every game, Rye.
Oh, they're going to be great this year. They're going to be great. It's freaking preseason. It don't mean shit.
And if I'm not mistaken, the 98 Yankees had a horrible spring training. Horrible. And we all know what happened.
We know how that turned out. Yeah.
I know. But yeah, well, let's get hit on Beckham. The guy goes low. When I first saw it, my first reaction is, well, what do you want the guy to do? You can't hit guys high anymore, so they're gonna go low. But I'm curious to hear your guys' take on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I really wanted to talk about because, I'm a Giants fan. So when you see that happen, especially to your best player, to your absolute best player, when you see that happen to him, get hit like that, see the replay, watch his knee buckle, his ankle buckle, you think the worst. And my initial reaction, because we're so reactionary as human beings, is yelling at the Cleveland Browns player. Oh, that's a cheap hit. Initially. Then you watch it a few times and you see, you're right, Mike. This is how they have to hit now. They can't go high anymore because it's going to be a penalty. So they have to hit this way. It's the game now. It has become the game. But when they hit low like this, it may be worse.
Right.
It may be worse. Guys tearing their knees up, tearing their Achilles up. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm wondering, watching that replay, all right, so Beckham is, obviously tracking the ball in. So what if this DB just stays on his feet and just, shoulder pad or chest to chest, old school throw your arms kind of tackle, and they still call him for a defenseless receiver kind of deal. Like, sometimes I wonder if these defenders can do anything. Like, it's gotten pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're right. And when it's coming, when a hit is coming in, in regular motion, I guess I don't know. Is it tough for the refs and the umps? Is it tough for them to see? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like they're kind of reactionary too when they make calls. No.
Yeah, honestly, I've started to defend refs lately, especially in the NFL. It's hard to do justice on television how fast these men are running and jumping and hitting. And this game is fast. It's big, strong men that are playing the game extremely, extremely fast. And these refs have had to deal with a lot of stupid rule changes every single year and look for this. And now, but you got to look for that. Well, don't call this. It's got to be crazy confusing, and they got to decide quickly, and it has to be tough. It has to be tough.
And Mike, we always have that running joke. It's like they make a call. You're like, I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules.
Right. And you know what? Sometimes I don't know if they do, right?
I'm agreeing with you.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's amazing. And this Beckham hit, I'm looking at it at a Giants perspective too, a Giants fan perspective. It's a clean hit to me. It sucks to watch that because we might be missing him the first game. But it's clean. Rye, what do you think about that hit as a Giants fan too?
As a Giants fan, I look at it and it's clean. I can't look at it any other way. It's what the NFL has asked for. It's what they've asked for, and the guy made the right tackle. It sucks, It sucks for Giants fans. It sucks for any team when it happens to any player, let alone a superstar.
Well, now
But
listen, there were some players around the league that kind of disagree with you guys. A lot of players took to the old Twitter and whatever, and they didn't like the hit at all. I think it
Were they
was
wide receivers?
you know it. Well, one was Ebron, who's the tight end, who's practically a wide receiver.
Mhm.
Said I forget the tweet. It's like, oh, you train you train and lift all off season, and the first chance you get is you dive for someone's ankles. But what do you want the guy to do?
These guys are just looking for airplay, guys. When they tweet shit like that, they really are.
Of course.
It's amazing. But you know what, Rye, you're going to love this too, because I heard a caller on a CBS Sports show that I was listening to, and they were talking about the hit, and the caller, I just wanted to reach through the radio and just strangle him. He says, well, you can't go high, you can't go low, so why don't these guys go for the midsection and just wrap their arms around him? What?
Yeah, he's played football before.
That's what I was thinking. He's played football because, yeah, you're really going to get a guy down that way. Let me tell you, these guys are freaking huge.
Yeah, and like
and
I said,
strong
too. There's no way. There's no way.
try tackling Le'Veon Bell that way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how you get cut, because you're not going to tackle him.
Right, and like,
Yeah.
let's go back to the leather helmets. Why don't we just do that, you idiot?
Actually, you know what? No joke. I obviously not serious, but I think that's the best way to eliminate helmet-to-helmet contact. Because guys won't torpedo themselves anymore if they're wearing that slab of leather on their dome instead of a hard helmet.
I agree with that, Mikey.
Well, I mean,
it would be stupid.
I mean, guys, I hate preseason. I do. I mean, we've said our piece with that. I mean, I could sit here for hours and talk about it. Oh, actually, guys, a little breaking news. I don't know if you watched. Rich Hill of the Dodgers.
Oh, I just saw this.
Threw a no-hitter. Okay, ready? Threw a no-hitter, 9 innings. But the game was tied 0-0 and went into extras. And he lost the no-hitter in the 10th after a walk-off home run from Pirates' Josh Harrison. How much does that suck?
And listen to this. He lost the perfect game in the 9th on an error by Logan Forsythe playing third base.
Wow.
And the Dodgers sat my fantasy darling, Justin Turner, and that's what they get. That's what they get.
Wow. Just amazing turn of events right there, huh?
That's crazy.
Well,
that's
Mike. Hey, Mike. They baseball's been doing something really weird with their jerseys. Can you talk about that? I mean, it's
actually not weird. It's really fun. It's really cool. And let me tell you about it. This weekend is Players Weekend. Okay, and what that means? Listen, what that means is everyone's going to be wearing their nickname on this stupid kind of alternate jersey for the weekend games. And
what?
Guess who thinks that's the dumbest idea ever? Me. Okay. Couple things. I heard about this a couple weeks. It's been a plan for a while. A couple weeks ago, I heard about it, and I said, it's kind of stupid. And then I started thinking, and I realized the Yankees are home, and they are not going to be wearing pinstripes at home. They're going to be wearing.
Wow.
It almost looks like a spring training jersey, where it's got the the dark Yankee blue, with like gray sleeves, like a spring training deal. Now, I go, well, I kind of had I was trying to decide if I was turning into just this old, pissed off old guy, back in my day, you didn't change jerseys, and, I know it's for the kids, which I think is stupid, but what about me? Forget the kids for a second. You know what I mean? What about us? What about the 32-year-old baseball fans that think this is the stupidest idea on earth? Let me go through some of the nicknames. This is where it gets really, really good.
Go ahead.
Some guys declined, and they're just going to have their last name.
Oh, really?
Right, yeah. They didn't have to do it because I guess you can't force a guy to have a nickname.
Right.
And some guys, it's just Buster Posey. It's going to say Buster
That's his first name, right?
Mookie Betts, it's going to say Mookie. Chris Bryant is going to say KB. Where do you get that from? It's his freaking initials.
It's not KB. It's not KB Toy Store.
This is no, because that was KAYBEE.
Oh, jeez.
Let me hang on. Now I'm looking at the backs of these jerseys, and some of them I can't tell who they are because I just have colors, and some of the colors for the teams with these jerseys are weird. Okay, there's it's maybe you guys can help me out. It's a white jersey. It's got red sleeves. This guy wears number 7, and his name, and maybe an homage to our dear friend Joey F. It says Compa F.
Compa?
Compa with a P. COMPA space F.
Compa F.
Who the hell is that?
Number 7?
Number 7. Some white jersey with red sleeves, red lettering, and numbering. I have no idea. This is so freaking stupid.
Oh, I wish I could give something away to someone that would guess that.
I found one funny one. Kyle.
Oh, wait. I found it, guys. Compa F is Michael Franco.
Oh. Outstanding. That's a great nickname, dude.
Wait. Here's even better. On the same team, Hector Maurice is Compa H.
Well, what does compa mean? I don't speak Spanish. I'm assuming this is something Spanish. I took German in high school. I don't know.
It is. Maybe I should know that since I teach Spanish kids. But
look, listen to this one. Josh Donaldson, bringer of rain. Cool, man. This is so stupid.
Jersey?
No way.
Yes, bringer of rain is going to be on his jersey.
My.
You know what really pisses me off? Because you know what's going to happen? Every 5 seconds, every guy who comes up to the plate, oh, and here comes Kutch, and here comes Miggy, and they're going to, they're going to look at the back of the jersey.
Yeah.
The cameras are going to show.
What's Michael K going to say?
Who cares?
Compa means friend.
Friend. Okay. Friend F. Good nickname, Franco. Good nickname.
Wow.
All right, so I'll wrap it up with this one because I found this is one that actually made me laugh. Kyle Seager of the Mariners, his jersey is going to say Corey's brother.
No way.
Which is kind of funny and self-deprecating and saying, I'm the second best Seager.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
But overall, horrible idea. Judge is going to say all rise. I just can't stand this shit. I can't stand it. Like, that's not a nickname.
No,
that's an instruction. You're telling someone to do something. That's not a name.
Yeah.
It's like, go over there.
Oh
That's my nickname.
One quick thing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is something on the same wavelength of different jerseys for MLB teams. I hate this idea. I think it's stupid. But did you see the other day with the game with the Pirates and the Cardinals played in Williamsport, 5 miles from the Little League Stadium? They played in a minor league ballpark.
Yeah.
Those jerseys
I did see that.
Awesome.
I saw them shake hands after the game. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that was.
I thought that was very neat too.
That was neat. They did it for the kids. All the kids from the Little League World Series teams had front row seats to this game. I think the crowd was like 3,000 people, a small ballpark. The players all met with the kids, and the jerseys looked great. And they weren't their traditional jerseys. I thought the jerseys looked awesome.
That is cool. That is very cool. Yeah, I was watching the end of that. That was very, very interesting. Oh, man. Funny stuff, though, Mike. I'm glad we got a good laugh out of that, by the way.
I guess we got to tune in this weekend and see some of this ridiculous bullshit.
Exactly. Well, you know what? This weekend's a big fight's happening, Rye. Is it not?
Yeah. Oh, big fight. I mean, if you could call it a fight, we'll see. We'll see if it's a fight at the end of this thing, because from what I'm hearing, between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, I don't see how McGregor could do anything in this fight. And I hate Floyd Mayweather. I hate him. But I can't see McGregor doing anything. Um, this is this guy, Conor McGregor. Yeah, he doesn't box. Floyd Mayweather is 49-0 against guys that box, guys that have trained their whole life as boxers. Is 21-3. Not in boxing. It's not boxing. He was a great youth level boxer apparently, but he went towards martial arts and stuff like that at age 16. That was 13 years ago. The guy hasn't boxed in 13 years, and he's facing a guy that's never lost a fight.
It's amazing.
How is this? How is this gonna be a fight? This he might not land a punch on this guy.
Well, listen, I'm not the biggest boxing guy, but I know, and people have described Mayweather as such. He's a pretty boring fighter. I mean, he's very smart and he's very good, but a Mayweather fight isn't really, kind of fireworks kind of display. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
obviously he's going to be toying with McGregor as much as he can, and McGregor is going to try to knock his ass out because that's his only shot.
Right, and
So
that's the
this is going to be a waste of $100. Whoever's going to pay for it, because it's going to be very quick. Because something's going to happen very quickly. Because McGregor's going to try to knock him out very quickly, and he's either going to do it or he's going to screw it up, and Mayweather's going to knock him out, and it's going to be over.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing, though. Like, I agree. I do agree. But Mayweather hasn't knocked anybody out in, like, forever.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. So maybe if I don't know how this, like, how does McGregor last?
I don't think he can. I don't think he can last. The guy, some of his fights end in 15 seconds, you know?
Right.
I can't see him going 10 rounds with Mayweather. I mean, and speaking of which, I'm looking at the Vegas odds of this thing. So the over-under is 8.5 rounds. And if you bet the over, it's plus 105. So if you bet $100, you profit 105, right?
Yeah.
But the under 8.5 rounds, which I think is a freaking phenomenal bet. Get your checkbooks out, whatever you need. Under 8.5 rounds, minus 135. So you risk $135 to profit 100. I think that is a money-making bet. That's a lock.
That's a pretty good one. Stone cold lock. Lock it up. Lock it in.
Good point, Rye. Good point.
What are the lines on the win?
Well, yeah, the win, the odds on the win, okay? Just a straight up win, which I think is another lock, but there's a high vig here, all right? Mayweather to win is minus 450. So you'd have to risk $450 to profit 100.
Right.
Now, if you have the money, throw it on there. What, a couple $100 extra dollars. I think it's a guarantee win. I mean,
what's
some
McGregor?
of the other stuff, McGregor, you know what?
Plus 800?
It's not even that high. I don't think, you know what? I don't even know what McGregor is because I wouldn't even look at it because I don't think it pays enough. Now, the stuff that I looked at for McGregor as a every once in a while gambling man, the long shot stuff. If McGregor can win this fight in rounds 10, 11, or 12, which I don't think he's ever making it there, 1,000. So $100. If you bet $100, you'd win 6,000. Now that sounds great, but I don't think he has a chance. Some of the other stuff, Mayweather by TKO, KO, or disqualification is minus 190. Mayweather by decision is plus 225.
It's not a bad bet.
That's not bad, but I don't think that also if it's by decision,
how does it go? Yeah. Yeah.
And so then McGregor by TKO or knockouts or disqualification is plus 360. That's not juicy enough for me.
Yeah.
And then McGregor by decision is plus 2,000. So you risk $100, you could win 2,000.
Yeah.
That's not that's I mean it's juicy, but I just never see it happening. And the draw, if they draw, it's 35 plus 3,500.
Honestly, the best bet is that under 8.5.
Oh, I that's what I'm thinking. That is the best bet because the vig is not so bad.
Anything.
You can bet it. Like I'm thinking about throwing some money on. I'm definitely throwing some money on this. But
Oh, you are.
100%, 100%. It's just a matter of how much. All right.
If I'm in
So,
Vegas, I'd do it.
oh, I'll find a
Walk
way.
right up to the counter.
So what round? If Mayweather can win, if he wins in any round, and you could predict the round that Mayweather wins in, every single one of those is at least plus 1,200.
Okay.
If you can predict what round is, so $100 would get you at least $1,200. But there you have to predict what round. Like if it's I don't some of them are higher, some of them are like plus 1,400, but the lowest is plus 1,200. So
Okay.
that could get you something, but you just have to guess right. You have to. I would say you have to guess anywhere from 1 to 5. I don't think it's going to be anything after the round 5, to be honest with you.
So you feel you got a 20% shot. If you
Yeah,
narrow it down to 5 rounds.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's what I would say to do. And you put your capital on something like that. Maybe you could make yourself a few bucks. Now, like I said earlier, this guy hasn't boxed in 13 years. This isn't Rocky Balboa versus Mason the Line Dixon in the Rocky Balboa movie. This ain't Hollywood. He can't do anything here.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing from the Conor McGregor's, his camp is the fact that his stance is not a traditional boxing stance. And it might be hard for like Floyd Mayweather to time it. I'm sorry. The guy is 49-0. Guys, he's won every fight. He can adapt to whatever you're throwing at him, especially from a guy that's basically an amateur boxer.
Yeah, you would think. It's just something weird about McGregor that I don't like. I have a hard time just counting this guy out. I don't know why.
He's super confident, dude. He's super confident.
Sure, and he may know he has no shot, but I doubt it. I really think this I'm really really curious to see how this is what's gonna happen. I'm obviously gonna see it on replay. I'm not paying $100. I'm not going to sit in a bar packed like a sardine. But I'm curious to see. I'm interested.
Like I might go out for this thing. I'm not paying $100 for this I'm gonna bet $100. I'm not gonna pay $100.
Well, yeah.
But right, like if I'm gonna, I might go out for this. I might watch it with a couple of guys. But like the last press conference was today. I don't care about these press conferences because McGregor and him have been yelling back and forth at each other, stupid stuff. I know he's uber confident in his abilities. And he's uber confident about anything. And to be honest, I would love it if McGregor could whip Mayweather's ass. But it's just not going to happen. Pay money for would be if McGregor just happened to forget that he was boxing and just roundhouse him to the face. I would love it.
Just a double leg takedown and just pound his face in.
Yeah, or it could be a total laughing stock, and he could say like Hadouken and like go right at him.
Street Fighter.
Guys, this could be a triple threat match, right? We can get another guy in there like Pacquiao or something.
Put him in a steel cage while we're at it.
Steel cage.
Hell in a cell.
That's what this kind of is. It's a circus event. It's a circus event. It's not. This isn't real. This isn't real. But they're gonna make so much money off of this damn fight.
Eat it up.
You know what I thought was weird too? It's not in one of the big casino arenas.
No, it's not.
One.
It's like the new like UNLV basketball arena or something. I thought that was really weird. Like it's not at MGM Grand or Bellagio or something like that. I thought that was really weird.
Well, I think there's your reason right there. Like some people actually think this is kind of like a joke.
Yeah, I guess
they're putting them in rinky-dink arena. I don't know, maybe
with the money involved. I was just surprised.
Unbelievable. This is the biggest hype boxing match in quite some time, I would think.
I know, and it's not even like a boxing match.
It's really strange to me.
No, it's the biggest one since Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Right, and it's probably bigger. I just feel like it's bigger. The hype has been so much
because
larger.
Boxing has turned so many people off in the past, including myself. So you get like this, face from the UFC, which I think has just surpassed boxing in its popularity, and juices it all up.
Yeah, it's all about the promotion, and it's just this media circus, and they just go and try for the biggest story or the biggest insult of what's going to get the most headlines, so people are more into it, and it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Both these
you know
guys
what?
can't shut up.
You know what? My brother just texted me. What about rumors of Mayweather eating Burger King and not really training hard this week?
Say,
well, you know what?
Nailed it in.
That Fruit Loops shake that they got and that Lucky Charms shake is phenomenal.
What? Wait, hold on. Why is the first I'm hearing of this?
You haven't heard of the Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops milkshakes at Burger King?
Holy bananas.
Let me tell you, Burger King and I usually don't get along. We've never really gotten along. It's the only place that doesn't, my only fast food place that doesn't necessarily agree with me. But I recently went there for a Lucky Charm milkshake.
You had to try it.
I had to try it. It was to die for. I'm like actually not kidding. This was the best fast food milkshake I've had in a long time.
Coming from you, that's a big endorsement.
That is.
It's better than McDonald's. I'll put it that way. It's better than McDonald's shakes, 100%.
And those are good shakes.
Those are great shakes.
It was so good. I went back a few days later and had the Fruit Loops milkshake.
Wow.
I would like that.
You know what? We're wrapping this up.
I think it was better.
Burger King.
I don't know. I'm a frosty dairy dessert kind of guy from Wendy's.
FTD, yeah.
You got to call it frosty dairy dessert too, because that was what it was on the menu.
Something classic about that frosty dairy dessert that just can't be beat.
Does it still say
get
frosty?
Out of here with the vanilla one. The vanilla one, get out of here. It's the chocolate frosty dairy dessert. Lock it up.
Chocolate, correct.
I totally agree, but all my life I would always get like vanilla milkshakes at a place. But I can't have a vanilla frosty. It's a chocolate frosty all day.
Right.
Frosty dairy dessert, right?
Right.
Sorry, boys. Frosty dairy dessert.
Oh, boys. I love it. I love the discussion. I mean, guys, it's hilarious. But I think it was a good discussion tonight, though. I mean, we hit a couple of different topics we usually don't hit. And Rye, great job on the Kyrie Celtics thing. I mean,
yeah, let's go Celtics.
For me and Mike, not being the biggest basketball fans, it was real nice hearing about that, man. Very good knowledge on that. But you know what? We'll be back for some more topics. Angry Hacks podcast. Please check us out on YouTube. Please visit our channel. Visit our channel, Angry Hacks. We're also on Twitter at The Angry Hacks and SoundCloud, and of course iTunes. Please download and maybe give us a review. Our boy Arf gave us a review. So
thanks, Arf.
Yeah, thanks, Arf. Let's bring in the reviews and subscribe to the Angry Hacks podcast. But we'll be back with, we got some good topics coming up. We'll be back soon. But other than that, you guys have a great night, boys.
Good night.
You too. Let's go Giants.